One of the things that touched my heart very much is that in one of those interviews, Anna says that one of the things that she learned from you is that when somebody tells you no, it's only the beginning of negotiation. I want you to take that phrase into your childhood and tell me where it came in your life for the first time. I think it's also the rebellious part.
In some ways, I was not a rebellious child, and I was not my truest self either, but I was a different child. When I ran into a barrier, a no, I didn't keep doing this, I would do this. There were problems that I tried to solve as a child. I might have been making something, and it wouldn't work the first time, and nobody discouraged me, so I tried again. And I tried.
They didn't tell you, like all parents, you know, don't bother with that. There is another way, or.
Yeah, my parents had two big influences. I think one was by giving me a great deal of space, and always seeing positive. When my mother died,
how old was she?
In her 80s, we had a ceremony, a memorial service where she lived on Nantucket Island, and after the service we went back to her house, and it was my brothers and I think our wives and all of our children, her grandchildren, 9 of them, and we were drinking a little and telling stories about Granny. And I think Tanya first said this story, and everybody immediately recognized it. And it was, I walked into the house and I heard Granny talking, which was pretty usual. She was talking to someone about her grandchildren, about me. And she was telling a story that made it sound like I was the most amazing, spectacular person in the world. And everybody recognized that, and I definitely recognized in my life that I would come home after school, walk into the house, and my mother would be there with her friends, socializing, maybe playing bridge. And the most dangerous thing at that point was to make a noise and be asked to come into the room and be introduced to everyone. And so I would come in very quietly and go to the refrigerator to find some food, but I would hear. And she would be talking about this amazing child. And she said, yes, he stole some candy from the store, but then he decided to go back and tell the owner that he had stolen the candy. And I was trying to figure out, who was that? I just stole candy. I never went back to the store. And then I realized she's talking about me. So she would make the story so that there was always a beautiful ending. And so I began to realize much later that a good story tells the truth, but it may not tell the facts. But it tells the truth. And so I have many stories that I tell about Anna, about my wife, my marriage. And when Mary listens, she says, it's not quite like that, but it's a much better story.
Of course, because then people can listen.
It teaches.
And can relate.
Yeah.